Let's do this. Exactly. Come on in, everybody. We see you out there. I got to go change my Facebook, though, just to make sure everybody can get to us this morning. If I don't remember now, I'll never remember.
Makeup.
Hang on. Here we go. Come on in, folks. We see you out there. Just changing my Facebook around. Here we are. We might be joined a little later by more people, maybe. We'll see. The call is out. The links are in play. It's Sunday Funnies, folks, for the 14th or the 15th of December. 15th of December. We're really glad you're here. We've got a great book to look at and a lot of history to cover. He said reaching for the title. Here we are. Comics. History of comic books in America, folks. Only a couple more decades to go because this book was printed in the real early 80s, I think, or the real late 70s.
But not an underground. Not about undergrounds, despite the X.
Oh, no. It's all about we're heading into underground territory today. So that does cover
right, but I mean, it usually comics with the X denotes undergrounds through and through.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were saying, Rex? Rex is on delay this morning.
Any memories that Charles might have about that book?
Any what?
Say again?
Any memories about this book by Les Daniels?
No. I've never seen it.
First encountered it, etc.
No, I know it exists, but I've never seen it. I've never held a copy.
Okay. We're gonna run the opening and then get on with it. Here, right there. Let's do that one.
That one.
Go on in, folks. Time for Sunday Funnies. Glad you're here. Got a great book to look at. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at aerocomics.store, as long as that site's up. I'm not sure if it's up yet or not. A few things lapsed, and we're getting our ducks back in a row. But right now, we've got the Atlantean heading out. If you haven't received it, if you were part of that campaign, Atlantean #1, and you don't have it yet, you will have it shortly. Everything's in the mail and heading your way. Really proud of this book. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you get a chance to read it. An all original story off of the characters and situations from the Shadow Kingdom by Robert E. Howard.
It's a beautiful package.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah. Or as Gail would say.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Think about what you've accomplished.
That's all I think about.
That's all that's worth thinking about. Yeah.
It's what why? Because it's what everyone else should be thinking about as well. Yeah. Not what they've accomplished, what I've accomplished.
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
You know, I tried to find that clip on the interweb. I could not find it. You need to send me a link to that.
It's on the website somewhere.
I found the babbling baby, and I was on a train going to New York a couple of weeks ago, and I played it, and this kid across from me heard it. This little kid, and got a huge kick out of it. Just started repeating it, imitating it. That clip is easy to find.
Yeah.
Oh, you silly, simple bastard.
Hecklefish is my spirit animal. Anyway. Also joining me this morning, Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. My name's Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I write books, and relevant to this show is my book about my visit to see Jack Kirby. You can find that on Amazon. You can also get a copy of this as well, which is different people. Lots of articles about Kirby as well. That's on Amazon too. If you want to see me actually talking with Jack Kirby, or at least see him talking, get in touch with me for a copy of this documentary that I made a few years ago. Shows you me talking to Jack in his studio. And if you go to fundmycomic.com, you can get a copy of my character Hatch. This is a book of his history. It's been out quite a while now. It's got lots of published and unpublished artwork in it. Let's just have a look through there, just see what he's all about. And occasionally, I publish Comics Unlimited, which is a 100-page magazine about comics, believe it or not. So you can find everything of mine is on Amazon. Just put my name in Google and Amazon, and you'll find it.
Yeah. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself, please.
Good morning. My name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. Currently working on the Atlantean 2. As Randy said, it's out there. People are getting their copies now. Funnily enough, as Glenn was suggesting, Hatch gets everywhere. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice little backup strip of Hatch. A little bit of humour in the back of the book. It's black and white. It's Savage Sword of Conan inspired. It's got a lovely painted cover by Ferreira. Next month, or next issue, should I say, will be Ink Spots. It's looking really good. We're really, really pleased with how it's going.
Yes.
And obviously Charles will be part of the writing team on the next issue as well. So we're all really excited about where that's going. So if you want to find out more about that, when the retail version of this book will hit shelves, which will be very soon, again, you can go to Amazon, just like you can find out with Glenn. You can find me on there as well, Barnes & Noble, whether it's the Atlantean, whether it's...
Only Death Can Save Us.
Only Death Can Save Us. That's the good one. Or whether it's any of the other books that I've been involved in, you can check them out over on those stores. But the most important thing is to keep up to date with the Atlantean. That's the thing we're passionate most about at the moment. Check that out at russleach.com and sign up for the email list there.
Yeah, absolutely. Also joining us this morning is Devil Flyer Rex. Rex, introduce yourself, please. He's on a slight delay.
Rex Christian, writer, artist of comics. And yeah, I may be on delay, so roll by ding. So anyway, my campaigns are over on Indiegogo and Fund My Comic. Check them out under Devil Flyer. Just glad to be here on delay or whatever.
Or however. Absolutely. Also joining us, Mr. Charles Santino. Charles, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, Charles Santino. I am a writer, editor, art director, and packager of comics. I categorically deny being responsible for the drones. I have nothing to do with the drones. I'm going to state that right now. I'm tired of hearing about it. I have nothing to do with it. Please leave me alone about that. But I am responsible for Rammer, Master Thief in a Future Police State. The first issue is behind me. The second issue is here. And there will be a third issue. And this is something you definitely want to take a look at. RAMMUR. And go to Amazon, go to the interweb. You will find it. You will purchase it and enjoy it. Thank you.
or else.
Or else.
I can understand the size of Russ's and Randy's book, Charles, but why did you kind of go to that larger European format?
You mean this? That?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually just a bit smaller than a regular comic book. It looks big because I'm holding it up this way.
Oh,
but it's actually a very weird size because of what Marcosia does and their print on demand. It's about the same width as a regular comic book, but it's a tiny bit shorter.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what she said.
Last but not least, in a rare appearance, we're joined by Mr. Scott Roseman. No, wait, it's Marv E.
Hey,
Happy
Marv.
belated
Yeah,
birthday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday.
birthday.
Yeah, it's gonna be tomorrow, so I'm gonna work still. But okay, thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna work.
Oh, that's right. It is tomorrow, isn't it?
It is tomorrow.
Yeah, it is tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
happy
Today
birthday tomorrow.
is thank you. Don Johnson birthday is today, so happy birthday, John. Okay, so I'm Marvi. I'm the creator of the Steam Killer, now working on my first graphic novel, Moon. And it's been a while, guys. I miss you. And let's talk about comics.
There we are. Yep. Happy to have you here, man.
Is he transmitting from the space station? What's the
Yes.
what,
International Space Station.
what's the deal?
Yeah, it's known as a station known as Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marv's from the
we are
space
working with
station. Rex is from Mars.
I'm a big fan of port.
Yeah.
Especially if it comes from Portugal.
There we
Ha
are.
ha 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 ha.
What? The wine? The wine?
I love that. Yeah.
Yes,
I really
the wine.
want
Yeah.
Yeah, the wine is great. The declaration, the Declaration of Independence of the United States was toasted with Portuguese wine.
Yeah.
The Porto wine.
Can we get a translator for Marv?
I heard that was
That was
fine.
fine. I
easy.
can hear him.
Portuguese wine.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Don't listen to him, Marv. Bloody Americans.
Smell this shoe.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I apologize. My mother was looking for a little more Niles Crane and a little less Lenny Bruce, but I am what I am.
And where does Santino come from? Is that Italian?
That's Sicilian. That's even worse.
No, same thing.
It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher.
That's definitely what she said.
Italian, Sicilians, they're all Moors.
Yeah, I'm afraid to do that. Me in 23 to find out what the hell's in there.
Yeah,
I did it. I was stunned.
Yeah. There's always some scary stuff.
It is. The wife, who's primarily Hispanic, opened up hers and said, I'm part Jewish. So what?
A lot of people are.
As a Nazi Jew, something like that. Probably pronounce that wrong. Yeah.
Ashkenazi.
Ashkenaz. Ashbagaj.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
That's probably
Oshkosh.
it. Yeah.
From Hoboken.
it's one of those words that when you translate it into Latin, it says "quit while you're ahead."
Exactly right.
Mhm.
Comics.
Randy,
The
that's
history
in
of-
focus. It's in focus.
Comic books in America.
Jesus.
Now you've just jinxed it. Thank you very much.
Don't
Sorry, carry
touch
on.
it.
Carry on. Start again. Sorry.
It's all right. There we go. Had to wipe my name out. Comics, the history of comic books in America by Les Daniels. This is a book that I read growing up, stopped at the library and picked up a copy, and I've owned a copy ever since. I didn't take it from the
Publication
library,
year?
though. Publication year was 1980, I think. Let's say desperately looking for an
Earlier than that.
I think you just blew past it.
70s.
There, it should be there somewhere.
72,
On the left.
73.
On the left.
On the left.
Oh, yeah.
71.
71, yeah.
71.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're almost up to the end of the book here. We're at where are we at here? We just made it through the color section to that great Captain America by Kirby story from the 50s. Fighting off a vampire.
That looks like 40s to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, could be 40s. Yeah, probably is 40s. Now we're up to a visit with the Fantastic Four.
Decayers, huh?
Yeah, that is from number 11, and that is easily one of the worst of the early issues. That's also the issue that the other story in that issue was the Impossible Man, which Stan got a lot of nasty letters about.
Why was that?
Because the character was stupid.
Oh,
okay.
But
he just took it. He just took it from Mr. McSpittlick from Superman.
Exactly. And the fans said, you know, more Dr. Doom, less Impossible Man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's thinking, I didn't actually write that one. It's not fair.
Slice of life story.
Yeah.
Isn't this the introduction of Willie Lumpkin?
I think so. And this is Dick Ayers Inks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this book prints their comic stories two on a page sideways. So
yeah,
not
really not quite digest size, but getting there.
Almost
scan from the color as well.
Yeah. The reproduction is really not that bad considering it's 1971. They were doing it small and somehow getting the color out of it.
Mm-hmm. They're just taking shots and
yeah, you can see the gray. The grays were the color.
Yeah, that's why you lose a lot of detail here on some of this slice of life story to fill in after the Impossible Man story.
The inkers on Fantastic Four. The inkers on Fantastic Four were kind of up and down, but it was even worse on the Avengers.
Yeah, but I always thought the Avengers, especially the early issues, were all done in a rush because the stories on those early ones were atrocious too.
A big rush because Daredevil was supposed to come out and didn't, and they needed to pay the printer for the time.
I never knew that till this year.
The Phantom story in #2, the Space Phantom or whatever they called him, was really horribly thought out. I don't even remember who the villain was in 3. Probably Hulk and Submariner.
It was Hulk and Submariner against the Avengers.
When were the Skrulls in? Was that 2?
The Skrulls were in Fantastic Four too. Yeah.
Right.
That's when they left them as cows.
They didn't get their costumes or headquarters or pogo plane or all that till issue 3.
Yeah.
Correct. So Stan and Jack are in this story, correct?
I think so. I think they're at the
from
end,
behind.
Yeah. There's one of Reed's first attempts to turn Ben back into human form.
And Reed's also morphed into.
It would have been nice if they would have.
Go ahead, Rex.
Sorry for the delay, folks. If they would have put the covers in here.
Yeah.
If not for the material, maybe in the back of the book, just to see what the covers look like.
Yeah, they were probably pressed for space on that, though. So I think Daniels decided it was a lot more important to put the stories in there than the pictures, which is why they photographed them or they printed them so small.
Glenn was about to make an important point.
Yeah, sorry, Glenn. Go ahead.
This is issue 11, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Reed has morphed into a handsome, well-built man from the pipe rendering professor from the first few issues. He's got his age less, if that's not, is that an oxymoron? Age less. He's looking better. Anyway, he's looking more like Kirby. Let's put it that way.
Well, he's, he can change the shape of his body at will. So
yeah, that's true.
He's going to turn himself into an Adonis. There you go. You got the power to do it. Why not?
I thought that.
Like given that propensity, it's amazing that it took Sue so long to come around to his charms.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's what she said.
As the joke goes, it was the constant ear pulling that convinced us.
How long are we in? 20 minutes.
That's what she said. Yeah.
We're slipping. We're slipping.
Are we slipping?
That's what she said. Sorry. Anyway.
the fuck is the matter with people in this business?
Anyway,
I think that's what we're all about. We're explaining it.
Yep.
That's right.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Mansplain.
Film at 11.
Getting back to comics.
Getting back to comics. Oh, the changeover didn't last long.
The first of many disappointments for Ben Grimm.
Was it later on they said that when he's in
It's
his
sad
when Ben
that
is
they-
in his rock form, he doesn't age?
All right, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You didn't know that.
And this is also
Where'd you get that
interesting.
from?
They're showing the torch there.
One of the later FFs had that.
They're
in there.
showing the torch the way he was drawn in the first issue, even though he was no longer being drawn that way by issue 11. So that's kind of interesting. That suggests that he actually looked different in the first issue. It's not just that he was being drawn differently in a different style. He was different.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Well, it's like Reed. The farther along they hone their powers, the more that they can shape the way they look,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. When you can control flame like that.
Yeah, at first he was just a big flame, and then later he looked not a flamer, but a flame.
Yeah,
and then
That's
later,
Iceman.
later he looked like a human who was on fire instead of just a big flame.
It's like in the X-Men when Iceman first appeared, he looked like a snow cone, a pile of almost like a snowman.
Yeah, and then it was 7 or 8 where he
tightened up.
He crystallized.
Yeah, crystallized.
Yeah, now he's got a great butt.
He is a flamer, though.
Ah,
He
you're
is.
not wrong.
We didn't know that then.
He didn't either. So
No. That's abuse.
it's one of those. Phoenix, it is. It literally is. Phoenix looked at him and says, "But we all know you're gay," and suddenly he,
We've got a film like that.
This has like a mini recap of what's went on before, like Fantastic Four #1. You got the scrolls there, a little shot of them from issue 2, little catch up panels. Charles, do you know in Fantastic Four if the first annual, which I have a copy of, it reprints Fantastic Four #1 in the back of it? Is that the first time that Fantastic Four was reprinted, was in Fantastic Four Annual #1? Or do you know when the first time Fantastic Four was reprinted?
Yes.
Also,
they
I
were
think-
they were
Go
trying
ahead,
to catch
Bill.
people. They're trying to catch people up with number 11
yeah.
because you couldn't get back issues back then.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why they reprinted it in the back of the annual. So nobody expected this to catch on, and suddenly they get hot. So that's
I would have given my eye teeth if Ditko could have just inked Kirby on, more. I mean, all he inked him on was issue 13, first appearance of Watcher and Red Ghost and his Super 8s, and the cover to 14. And I just love Ditko inks over Kirby in the Fantastic
And
Four.
Stan said that Ditko was his favorite inker on Kirby, but and he did a lot. He did a bunch of the monster stuff.
Yeah, he was doing the Hulk as well, wasn't he, at this time?
The Atlas.
Yes. Yeah.
just great stuff.
And then, of course, he inked Spider-Man cover #1, didn't he, by Kirby?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Which doesn't really look like Kirby at all.
Doctor Strange.
The end of the FF story.
Ditko.
Yeah. Speaking of Ditko, here's the first Doctor Strange story.
Yeah, before he opened his eyes.
Yeah. Look at that bottom right panel there with lighting that cigarette.
Yeah.
That's
great.
pure Ditko.
Yeah,
it is. Not only that, but it adds to the night and the tension that the guy was feeling, the anxiety. Go ahead, Rex. Go ahead.
Was he trying to give him an Asian look, you think, with the eyes? And I've often heard that in the Spider-Man and a lot of his work, the panels are so tight, they almost have a claustrophobic feel.
I think what happened
Yeah.
with Doctor
With Ditko.
Strange in the beginning was because he was mentored by the Ancient One, who I guess is supposed to be Asian. When he became Doctor Strange, I think they wanted to show that influence, but later on, he just looked like a handsome guy, a Caucasian guy.
Just added to the mystical look of him. Yeah, the mystery.
Who's the guy lettering this one? Terry who? Was it Terry?
Terry
Blurred.
Zenics. Looks like Zenics.
I wonder if that was somebody in Ditko's studio,
Yeah.
I don't know.
because
I
I
didn't know
never
he
heard
had
that name before.
I didn't know
Or
he
is
had
it
a
a
studio.
Well, yeah, he
Is it a
had
pseudonym,
an office, and at this time, I think he was sharing the office with what's the name of the guy who did the Bondage comics? I think they were sharing an office.
I thought they were right next. They lived next to each other
Yeah.
in the same apartment building.
Possibly, yeah, but maybe it was somebody that Ditko hired.
Let's
Because
I know. I know who you're talking about. I got a great big book. I mean, a thick book of his work, and most of it in there looks like it's Ditko.
yes, yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. I know the work.
But we can't really show a lot of it here.
No,
without going through it.
as much as we'd like to.
A lot of
They
adultness.
kind of dropped the black magic part too, didn't they?
Well, they had to lighten it up because of the South and the people that are easily triggered by black magic.
Now, is that Doctor Strange first appearance or his origin, which are two
No.
different things?
This is his first appearance.
A first appearance. So that was
Yep.
Strange Tales 110.
Yes.
And I think they didn't get around to his origin until 115.
Yeah. Four episodes in, and I think they skipped one
Yes.
in between. Yeah. They didn't know. They did. All
No.
they did was all they were doing at this point was throwing, crap at the wall to see what stuck.
And Stan didn't care for the character much. He said it was Steve's idea.
Yeah.
And he figured we'll put it in the back, and we have pages to fill. I'm looking up that letterer, and let's see what. I think it's a woman because
Wow.
it says the spouse is Zoltan. What? That's a male name.
Well, usually if it's a female, the Y in Tony is with an I, isn't it?
In Terry, you mean?
Terry?
Yeah, usually. But let's see what I can find out
It
here.
is Terry. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's
it could
definitely
be
a
Y.
woman. It's definitely a woman. It says here, additional biographical information can be found in Women in the Comics by Trina Robbins and Kat Ironwood.
Sweet. I got to get that book. I know Amazon still has it.
Probably cheap.
Yeah.
Let's see how much lettering this person did. Let's click on this link. See what comes up. Issue checklist. Nothing came up. Issue checklist. Here we go. Okay. Mostly Archie.
Right.
Yeah. Lettering primarily for Archie. Some Alan Class. Some lettering for Alan Class. Now those are probably reprints, but Creepy Worlds is Alan Class, but it doesn't give the original comic. So I think it's oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at one page out of 8 here. So this letterer did a lot of lettering, this woman. And Archie's what comes up. There's Gunsmoke Western, that's Marvel.
That'd be Dell, or would it be
No,
Marvel?
that's the Marvel Gunsmoke Western. Yeah,
Right.
Atlas at that time.
Yeah.
A lot of Archie, some Atlas. Very interesting. Yeah, this is a female letterer that's kind of under the radar. Oh, here have Fantastic Four #7.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. How about that?
What was at a time when credits weren't really readily available. I think Marvel started that up.
So this is somebody
Who was in
worth we're
Fantastic
looking
Four
into.
number
This is very
7?
interesting.
Yeah.
And she was Hungarian.
Sorry, Rex, you were delayed again. Go ahead.
Who was in Fantastic Four number 7?
Oh, the regrettable Kurg. Is it Kurgo or is
Gee, I can't remember.
Yeah, it
can
was
look
an
it up.
a little short little alien guy. I think it was Kurgo.
Oh,
Let's take a look.
okay. Forgettable.
Very
Is that the-
forgettable.
Harkening
planet-
back to the Atlas
Never
years.
never repeated in the Kirby run. It's considered one of the low points of the series.
Didn't it make the 1966 cartoon though?
Probably.
They all did at one point or another. Fantastic Four 7 has them as a wanted poster on the cover.
Yeah. With inks, I think, by Kirby.
Yeah, great cover.
And Reed looks just like Kirby
Right.
there.
We escaped just in time. We can't remain on Earth any longer. We've got to head for Planet X. Yeah, that's the Planet X story. That they Reed switched around the growing and the shrinking canister with, or the letterer did. Or no, Stan did, actually. The letterer was just following Stan's directions.
Yeah, the alien was Kurgo.
Yeah, I remember the cartoon of that.
So Lee changed the story.
Well, they changed it in all the future reprintings, but they had him holding a canister of, I think it was the shrinking gas, and he was calling it the enlarging gas, something like that. Yeah, they switched it around for any future reprints. Into the introduction of Nightmare here. Riding the horse. In the eye of Agamotto.
Casper's horse was called Nightmare, I believe.
Yeah.
Casper
Still-
the friendly ghost.
Still basically sticking to that 9-panel page, isn't he?
Yeah.
Most of it.
Yep.
Well, how many pages is the whole story? 5 pages, 8 pages?
Yeah.
It's like 6. 1,
6.
Right.
Yeah, 5 pages. Yeah, 5
Yeah,
pages.
I guess Steve figured I got to cram a lot into here, so
There we are.
I'm gonna do a lot of panels.
Mm-hmm.
Some artists can get away with it, some can't.
Speaking of a lot of panels, here we
Steranko.
come up with Steranko, the introduction of the Gravedigger here.
I
He
love
didn't
this
last very long.
story.
This story is great.
This is just so fantastic. A lot of panels, as we'll see, and one is Steranko's. I think if Steranko only did this story and no other story, he'd be known for it.
Mm-hmm. Plus, opposite that is a typical bullpen bulletin page because Daniels wanted to let everybody know that.
What issue Fantastic Four?
Of what?
In the checklist.
Oh, you would ask, and it's real small letters.
you got a magnifying glass?
Not handy enough.
It looks like 70 something.
Uh, 25 more members. This was copyright 1967.
Probably
Captain
maybe in
Savage,
the 60s.
1,
What is
Sergeant Free, 51, Strange Tales 146, Astonish 101, Suspense 99, Thor 1, looks like 149, but that can't be right.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Is it Thor 149? Captain Marvel, Marvel Superheroes 13, Daredevil number 37, X-Men 41, Avengers number 49. It's FF 72.
Yeah. Okay. So that was Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that's that fantastic cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
The red
And
one.
headlining it all up there. It's not brand X number 6.
they were pushing that one.
They sure were.
That's a
Anyway,
beautiful
this
page right there.
At the stroke of midnight.
Are those people at the bottom of the staircase holding a lamp?
I believe they are.
Because that just shows you how brilliant Steranko is by having 2 reflections in the water. One's the moon and one's the lamp.
Yep, that's the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this story, you could go on and on and on, analyzing the visual techniques. Look at this.
Oh.
Wow.
I can probably tighten down just a little.
There's the raven at the bottom.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Now, if you've ever seen this story
tight
in
as it
color,
gets, folks.
Steranko did the coloring, and the coloring is as brilliant as every other aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Get that face.
Wow, that first sequence on top, on the left page, that's insane. That's insane.
Isn't it? Crazy stuff.
It's also a really, really good story. It's a very simple story. The twist is a little bit of a cliche, but the way Steranko handles it is just brilliant.
Yeah.
And as I've said a million times, is there any artist who's a bigger name with fewer pages than Steranko?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Too true.
So I have a question on the left side, the page on the right side. There's the face of the man that is divided in 3 panels.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the meaning of that? Why do you think he did that?
Because it looks good.
Why not? Yeah. It looks good. Yeah, but yeah.
I think
because it's cool, and it's 3 different seconds because he's got a bubble in each.
Yes,
panel.
yes. So it's a great use of time, a time lapse of just a couple of seconds, and his face is getting darker in each panel.
And if I'm seeing it right, the first panel he's looking to his right.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes,
and then by the left panel he's looking at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's it's like you say, it's 2 or 3 seconds, and he's looking over there, then he's looking at you, and it's getting darker.
Sorry, I had to nip out. This is for Steranko, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this Hound of the Baskervilles?
No.
This is Stroke of Midnight, I believe, number 1.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was the first. No, it was the first. It was the first story in the first issue.
Tower of
Shadows. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool.
There's the
Right. Yeah. Okay. I remember. Yeah.
I'm gonna screenshot this.
So who did that? That isn't Steranko, is it?
Yes, it is.
That was. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, the Gravedigger was the host of that magazine or the comic book.
I don't think they kept him around for very long.
And for a little collecting note here, this is a particularly hard issue to find in a really high grade.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it does go for a few bucks, even in a mid grade. But it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
Lovely work.
Again, here's that passage of time. Anyone out there new to the program, anytime you want to look at the why there are individual panel borders here, I always recommend Eisner's Comics and Sequential Art book, where he sits and explains that every panel is a beat. Every panel is a frozen second in time.
And when I first read this story when it came out, I was completely unaware of Bernard Krigstein, who his pages were. I mean, he used similar techniques here, a lot of panels, and the pacing and the time element and all of that. Steranko definitely took it to another level, but Kriegstein, probably the first artist to do this sort of thing in
comics,
in EC, and then for Atlas as well.
Yeah.
So we've spoken about sizes of art as well. Do you think he was doing this on a slightly bigger?
I think they were already. I think they were already going to the using the smaller size.
Wow.
16, 17. Or
Oh,
10 by
17. Yeah,
11
by
by
17,
11 by 17 field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Because you said this was, this was 1969. I think in
Right.
68 they switched to the smaller art.
Yeah.
Wow.
Makes
Really
it even
cool.
more impressive.
Yeah.
Billy Power Max in the house. Billy, thanks for joining us today. Glad you're here.
Welcome.
He knows. I think he knows Rex Hale.
That's what you do when you breathe out.
That's Rex Hale? No.
Yeah.
You Rex Hale.
Rex Hale.
Rex Hale. That's what she said.
I don't think she said that.
She
I don't
did.
think she
She
said that
did.
either.
She did. I was there.
Maybe to you.
She was drunk.
She was drunk.
She was drunk. We told her to go home.
Shit my pants. Right
Anyway. Great stuff, folks. Best of the best. That's why it's in this book.
It's just so that shadow down there where he's leaning against the wall down the bottom. I mean, I know there's beautiful lighting in the whole thing, but that just jumps out, doesn't it?
You want to see a lot of that? You got to get Steranko's Chandler book. Very detective film noir.
Is he pushing the door open with his shoulder there? Is that what's going on?
I think he's walking through.
I thought he was like leaning up against the.
Oh, okay. I thought. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Interior. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or he's got his hand on the
door frame.
Frame. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that great? Just a great sequence right here.
It's cool.
And the detail is insane.
It is. Very much so.
18 panels on that left-hand page.
It's going for it with the panels, isn't he?
Yeah, he obviously needed 20 pages, but could only have 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could have taken it to 20.
Yeah.
We'll have to look at that Nick Fury, early Nick Furies that he did. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
That's so good. They were all reprinted in Captain Britain.
Yeah.
Wow. All in black and white, of course.
I caught an old copy of that when I was a kid and just it ended up in shreds, literally in shreds.
We could do an entire show on that 4 splash page single panel Fury thing that Steranko did. You know, I don't know what issue it is, but the one who is Madam Hydra. Oh no, it's the yellow guy. What's he called? The yellow guy.
Yellow Claw.
Yellow Claw.
There's so many. Once he got, you could see his real stylistic approach coming through. It's like with every story he did, it just improved and grew. It was just absolutely brilliant. There's a fantastic cover, isn't there, with Nick Fury? Like it's like he's running through a Dali timescape.
Yeah,
with clocks melting and stuff. It's just
it's a beautiful cover. I love that cover. Incredibly done. Well done. Now, folks, we're about to enter the world of underground comics.
Oh, all right. You have been warned.
Before we do that,
yes.
Kriegstein used 75 panels in a 4-page story. That was in an Atlas story. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's his record for the most panels in a story per page.
So we'll look at the story he did that was printed in Impact here sometime real soon.
Master Race.
Master Race.
Show up my my camera. Hold on. One moment.
There we are.
There you go. So that's on this side you've got Buscema and Sinnott.
Wow.
In Fantastic Four, and then you've got some absolutely gorgeous Steranko going on there.
Yeah, it's the front of,
And
or
then-
that's the splash of Nick Fury 3.
Yeah, straight into that.
Straight into that. Yep.
Did he know what he was doing or what?
I'm
Great in
surprised.
color, great in black and white.
Yeah,
I'm
and
surprised,
black
the
and white.
I'm surprised the editor didn't say, "Well, you put something on that splash page."
Yeah, he probably only paid him half for those
Yeah,
pages because there wasn't enough on it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. But that's the final page for this issue. So
Wow,
fantastic.
They don't
I
make
see
them
the
like
drool
that
spot.
anymore.
so
Yeah.
he'd get half penciling rate, half inking rate, and no writing rate
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's blank.
Now, other than the first issue of Nick Fury by Steranko, the other issues 2, 3, and 5, maybe, I think he skipped one. I can't remember which one he skipped. They're not that expensive. The number 1 is expensive, but the rest of them in mid-grade, you can get very reasonable, and those are very worthwhile.
Yeah.
They've been reprinted a million times, but nothing compares to the look of the originals.
There is a reprint collection
Which
Marvel
issues did he do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's covers that don't have his stuff in there. There was one issue that they skipped. I think it was maybe it was 4 wasn't him, although the cover was, and then 5. If you go to comics.org, you'll get those details. But the ones that he did, the 4 issues he did, other than number 1, you can get those for, I don't know, maybe $15, which I think is a bargain today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There is a reprint book out of Steranko's Nick Fury material, all put together into one book.
Yeah, I've got that.
Printing on it
Yep.
not exactly the best.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Never is.
Underground comics, folks. And if we were following this all the way through from beginning to end, you would see that comics history is one incredibly large chain. And the underground comics would have never existed if Harvey Kurtzman hadn't been on the West Coast after working on EC for the years that he did and finding this group of great cartoonists there that were radical, that really, they were too cartoony for regular comics, but they wanted to do comic book art. And he put them in a couple of magazines that he tried to get off the ground called Trump. And one was Trump, the other was Help. I think the Trump lasted 8 issues and Help lasted 6 issues.
2 issues.
2 issues.
2 issues.
Okay.
And that was published by Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
And there's a great quote. He said, "I gave Harvey an unlimited budget and he exceeded it."
They started printing comics on their own, though. So, and off of that, and that started the underground movement. They'd be sold in head shops or paraphernalia shops for other recreational drug use.
50
material.
cents. 50 cents each, and they were black and white. I think they started at 35, but they soon went to 50 cents. They were black and white. I was buying them at the time. I had a mail order on some of them, and there was a head shop in town, and I was buying them there. I was buying Tales of Toad and Zap, and loving it. Just thinking, boy, this couldn't be more different.
Yeah, I think we had the cover for Zap 1 there at our opening. Zap 1 or Zap 0.
And
That
Corbin,
did.
because it's where Corbin got his start.
Yeah.
And the Undergrounds, most of them self-published.
Mm-hmm. They got distributed through the head shops, though, and that was one of the inspirations for the direct market.
And that got shut down. The feds shut down the head shops in 72 or 3, and the market for undergrounds just disappeared overnight.
And the ones that didn't, the head shops that didn't disappear, ended up becoming comic shops.
Exactly. Especially in Berkeley.
Yeah. Here's a little sample of what they call Tijuana Bibles, folks. And yeah, that's pretty safe. They attribute the Tijuana Bible also as being an inspiration for the underground comics. Tijuana Bibles were very small size comics that were distributed pretty underground, about the size of what Matt Fazell prints
Chick Track
today for mini comics. No, a little bigger than a Chick Track. They were about this size. It's about 3 by 5.
Yeah, you notice what they're not showing as an example there. They're not showing what they did with Popeye or Blondie or any other real characters.
Yeah, it was real underground work, and they attributed some of it from coming out of Tijuana, and that's why they called them Tijuana Bibles. These here have Pretty Boy Floyd and John Dillinger. They had famous people or famous cartoon characters doing very, very adult situations.
100% explicit.
Yes. And there is a fantastic book out on Tijuana Bibles. If you want to find that, we will not be looking at it here. So, I am tempted to do a Rumble channel and see if we can get away with it. But it would be fun to see. Anyway, these artists start doing their own stuff, and after Trump and help, and started printing their own work. Kind of an offspring from mutation, really, of comics and editorial cartoons. They were without any type of restrictions or code authority, so it was like a direct backlash against the CCA. So anything that they thought, in fact, they went out of their way in order to push boundaries as much as they possibly could.
And some of them were selling quite well. I mean, Zap was selling 100,000 copies an issue at 50 cents.
In fact, there's R. Crumb there, Mr. Natural. One of his mainstay characters. I did go back over this book before we started looking at it, just to make sure that
a friend of mine had a Snatch #2, and it had been through the mail like 3 different times, back and forth. I actually got to see the book before he traded it back to the guy he originally bought it from for some other stuff, production art or whatever. He sent it off to be graded. It came back a 9.9, and those were the only thing that hurt it. It was considered like a third printing. Once Crumb would, go through the first printing, and these were all hand folded and stapled, and so that's just amazing that something from the 60s like that was hand stapled came back a 9.9.
Do you think that grade was accurate?
I mean, it was beautiful condition for its age. For some reason, I guess maybe paper quality or something made it seem like a third printing to them, because they would just print some more and fold it and staple it and, distribute it out.
There are usually subtle ways of telling differences between printings. Yeah.
Charles, was that
the
Zap
thing that really hurt it? But
yeah, go ahead, Glenn.
Charles, was that Zap magazine that you said was selling 100,000?
Yeah, Zap Comics.
Zap Comics.
Is that every month?
No, it might have been, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a year, if that.
Right, because I just looked on the calculator, and that 50,000 in 1967 is nearly 500,000 now.
Yeah.
So somebody was making a bit of cash, weren't they?
Crumb was. I mean, the deals that those publishers were making with the artists were, they retained the rights and actually got most of the money.
Good.
Yeah,
Shocker.
I mean that
Yeah.
that and Randy talked about it being the beginning of the direct market, and it absolutely was. And excuse me, but Robert Bierbaum wrote 2 articles about the origins of the direct market that are absolutely essential and fascinating, and they're in 2 different issues, I think, of Comic Book Artist by Tomorrow's, and he talks about all of this, and really fascinating. He was there. I mean, he was a dealer.
Yeah.
He was a dealer of comics. He had a store in, I think, in Berkeley, and he talks about it, and it is absolutely fascinating. He's really the only person who's chronicled it. He's said for years he was going to write a book. He was posting on Facebook every day, and
lots of great posts too.
Yeah,
on all sorts of
recently,
odd stuff.
he recently passed away. From cancer, I think, and
about a year ago. Yeah,
never got to do the book. But those 2 issues with rather lengthy articles about the origins of the direct market, if you can find those, Beerbaum is Beerbohm. Those are essential comic book history.
Or even if you want to travel down that rabbit hole, look up his page on Facebook and go back. So
he was a bit of an eccentric, to say the least, but he knew what he was talking about. And there was he had a big controversy going about art that he bought at a convention in the late 60s that he claims the art was he names names. I won't name the names as to what people were stealing art from Marvel mostly, but DC as well, and that bringing thousands of pages to conventions and inviting dealers into a big room and selling this stuff for like Neil Adams pages were going for $10 a piece.
Wow. On Friday when we did Mobius, a few weeks ago we sort of established that he was drawing 2 tiers on the page of strip. Well, this looks the same, doesn't it? Take away the logo and the size.
It does look individual, doesn't it?
Yes, you're right.
It very well might be, especially with the amount of detail that's in all of this. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
And the Les Daniels must have been really racking his brain to find pages he could show from the underground.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Example of a couple examples here of Spain.
Yeah.
The artist Trash Man. A lot of you more astute and if you're into recreational use would recognize Trash Man as on the front of all of the zigzag cigarette rolling paper packages.
Russ,
I would say Zap Comics probably has the lock on the longest, reprint. I mean, I've seen in a head shop, and this was back in the 80s, 40 years ago, just about like 36 printing or something of an issue of, I think it was the Furry Freak Brothers. I looked at the printing of it.
They've gone into many printings. Yeah.
What'd you say, Glenn?
That guy there looks like Peter Sutcliffe.
Oh God, yeah, it does a bit.
Trash Man.
Yeah,
that's a bit nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great story.
I thought he looked like Zarkov from Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Or General Zod from Superman 2.
Yeah. That Manning strip there looks like a kind of a Ditko statement, doesn't it? Manning, some call it police brutality. He calls it justice.
Planet Houston.
This is from the East Village Other, Spain Rodriguez. Yeah. There are a couple of collections of Spain's work out there. I got to meet him once at a Motor City Con along with S. Clay Wilson. It was really fun. S. Clay Wilson did Checkered Demon, another underground icon. Ready?
Yep.
There's a little bit of Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. Right there. And then this page is a page that Trina Robbins did, who was into the underground scene. That's what she looked like back then, announcing the birth of one of their children, Casey.
Look at that, and the little fucker.
And let us not forget that Trina Robbins, believe it or not, designed Vampirella
On a napkin, on a whim.
Yes.
Yeah, in Warren's offices. So if you're gonna do her and sex her up, this is what you need to do. 2 stripes of material. There you are. Yeah. Never got any credit or money for it either.
And somebody's lettered it, and they don't know about lettering.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about Trina Robbins, Daphne and I had the pleasure of interviewing her. She's over at the archives and on the Sunday Funnies page over in the Indie Comics section. Look for Sunday Funnies Classics.
That was one of the best interviews, isn't it, Randy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a great interview. Got to get Daphne in there and ask her all sorts of questions, and she had all sorts of information for us. It was a great, great interview. It's something I'm really proud of. That's over at the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel, folks. Some more examples of underground. This is really incredibly tame compared to the material that was out at the time. He went through and tried to find really good examples, but also really safe ones because he wanted the book in the library.
Look at that title. When I first knew that there was something fishy about the FBI.
Yeah.
You don't say. Good choice of words again at the end, man. Yeah.
What I still want to know is why the fuckers wouldn't at least admit he was a fine craftsman. Yeah. Well, he was talking about catching a counterfeiter.
Brilliant.
So let's see if Justin Green is mentioned in or shown the artwork. The Binky Brown and the Holy Virgin Mary. That was his underground.
I don't think it's in there.
Yeah, I mean that was even Crumb says that was the first autobiographical underground.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say even Crumb was astonished by it.
He was. I mean that's Binky Brown and the Holy Virgin Mary is considered probably among the top 2 or 3 underground comics ever.
Not cheap either to find.
No. Well, reprinted many times though.
Yeah. Even those aren't cheap. Now we're going to go sideways, folks.
That's what she said.
Mr. Sketchum is at it again.
I love the titles.
Yeah. Aren't they great?
Those little leaping figures next to the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is about as raw of comics as you're ever going to get. I mean, sequential artwork wise, everything was done by hand, and back then most of it was freehand. So
that one looks like Bill Gates.
I've mentioned Crumb's sketchbooks before, and he's got 3 magazines called Art and Beauty, which are sketches, drawings, some detail of just women that some of them are models for him. His draftsmanship is unparalleled. This is really, this is really, really cartoony stuff here, but his quote realistic drawings are really stunning.
Yeah, he's an incredible master at stippling, shading with lines. Very much so. Just some incredible work. And you can find him. He's got an active page, or at least his company has an active page on Facebook. they'll post some of his work every once in a while, and it's very astonishing stuff.
And maybe his best-selling work was the Bible. He did the entire book of Genesis,
and
it
comic
became a
form.
best. It became a bestseller.
Yeah. I'll have to look through that book sometime soon. I'll have to get that.
So it was a bestseller twice then. It was the real one and the one he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's got nudity in it.
Oh dear. Can't have that.
Just like
now we have the story of Meatball.
Yeah. Classic. From Zap 0 or 1.
Yes.
Look at that bottom left panel. Boing.
Yeah.
And the final panel of this is a classic of underground comics.
Right.
This is real cartoons, folks.
It's the story about life and people being hit and enlightened by a flying meatball.
Right. That's all it's about. Yes.
That's all it's about. Life-changing encounters with a flying meatball.
I would say this story was preceded by some drug use.
Preceded during, I think.
Probably both. Yeah. Very good drugs. They had some pure drugs back then.
Now, without looking, do you remember the words of the final panel?
No, I don't.
Meatball doesn't work that way.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right there. Meatball doesn't work that way.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell that means, but I've remembered it all these years.
I had that saved for a while. I was using it on the show. Telling folks as we went out, remember, folks, meatball doesn't work that way. But soon everybody gets attacked by an enlightened.
And it's not meatballs don't work that way. It's meatball doesn't work that way. Meatball's singular.
Meatball doesn't work that way.
I wonder if he was influenced by Rosebud for this story.
I don't know. Citizen Kane.
Yeah. I like the fact that Bertrand Russell is being hit. Now, today, no one knows who Bertrand Russell is or was.
Wasn't he the guy who was hit by a meatball?
Yeah, he was probably the best known philosopher of the, let's say, 40s, 50s into the 60s.
Bertrand Russell.
Back when philosophers were known.
Yeah, back when people cared.
Yes.
They'd all be labeled as conspiracy theorists nowadays anyway.
We all have our own truth now.
Yeah.
And ignore the truth.
It's all subjective.
Yep.
A little bit of Doc Destiny here. Ken Deach.
It's actually a pretty good name. That's worth stealing.
Yeah.
But the lettering's appalling again.
Well, they're undergrounds.
If it had professional looking lettering, nobody would be interested. They'd go, "What is this? What is this? A poorly drawn regular comic book?"
It's a sterile crap. Yeah. Instead, it's Doc Destiny.
This reminds me a tiny bit of Basil Wolverton.
It does.
Tiny bit.
Yeah. Turns out to be a demon in the end.
Rawr.
Rawr.
And that demon looks like right out of Wolverton, right out of Space Hawk.
Yeah. Well, that whole helmet here looks like it's out of Space Hawk. Whole drawing technique, really. Yeah. There's a lot of Wolverton in there. Deach was probably really influenced by Wolverton's work as a kid. So it would have been, 10, 15 years before this? Maybe 20.
Powerhouse Pepper.
Yeah. Powerhouse Pepper.
This up and coming looks like the up and coming strip. The one that we're going to now looks like I Spy. Yeah, that woman there with that cowboy hat looks like, is that a woman? Looks
no,
like
they're all guys. They're the Freak Brothers, fabulous furry Freak Brothers. Yeah,
it looks like I Spy. I don't know who drew I Spy.
And Rose, I couldn't tell you. I'd be guessing.
But
There's
it looks like it.
There's a hotel in Austin that has paintings of a lot of Austin related stuff, and it includes the fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. So I assume the artist was based in Austin.
That explains the straight man having the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Looking like Buffalo Bill. Yeah.
His boots as well.
Fat Freddy and I don't remember the other guy here. Phineas, right? No, this guy was Phineas. That's Fat Freddy.
That guy with a beard looks like, is it Alan Lansdale?
Yeah.
The guy who hooked up with Lennon in around this time.
Everybody thinks about the undergrounds as being completely immersed in hippie culture, but some of it was, but not all. And this is an example of, yes, this was steeped in hippie culture, but a lot of it was not.
What's this more drug culture?
Yeah. Crumb was kind of anti-hippie in his own way.
Dope will get you through times of no money better than times with money and no dope.
Yes, something like that.
Sounds like Cheech and Chong.
Very much like Cheech and Chong. You could see Cheech and Chong pulling influence out of the Freak Brothers real easy. Yeah.
So we've got Alan Landsberg meets Cheech and Chong meets the Freak Brothers.
Yeah.
How could you go wrong?
They've tried to animate Freak Brothers a couple of times, live action claymation, and
yeah. So you've got all that and Robert Crumb drawing it.
Yeah. No, it's just Dave. It's Dave Sheridan, right? Dave Sheldon.
It's not Crumb. I think it's
Gilbert.
Sheldon. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not Gilbert. Sheldon. Radical. Oh, sorry for my lack of recall this morning, folks. Not enough coffee. Fantagraphics has made sure that the Freak Brothers material, or the majority of it, has stayed in print for a couple of different editions.
Yeah, they reprinted, I think, virtually everything Crumb did as well.
Well, yes, yep. Well worth your time, and everything Vaughn Baudet did as well. Another guy we need to take a look at.
We all know how Vaughn Baudet died.
It's a mystical time displacement experiment.
No. Not exactly.
Well, that's the official story. Anyway,
Yeah.
It's a heroin overdose.
No, it wasn't.
No?
No.
What was it then?
Sexual asphyxiation.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was a heroin overdose.
Yeah, no. It's the first time I ever heard of that too.
Okay.
That was mid-70s, I think.
Yeah, 75, and he was 33.
He was into a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And who was the musician who died the same way?
Which
the
one?
The guy from NXS?
Oh, Michael Hutchins.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think he killed himself, I think. I think he killed himself. Carradine died that way.
Carradine died that way, yeah.
Yeah. But
as
the
well,
guy from
David
NXS,
Carradine.
I think he
Hell of a way to go.
I think he killed himself.
Yeah.
Depression.
He smoked a bowl. And that's what happens. Zonk, pow, sproing, flash. This is pretty good stuff you have there, brother. Uh-oh, now they have the munchies and there's nothing in the fridge.
On YouTube, they had the Furry Freak Brothers cartoon. Have any of you seen that? They smoke some weed and wind up in the 20 years in the future, something like future time. Because they pass out, you know.
It was special weed.
We sleep through the 70s and 80s and 90s. Yeah, special weed. Yeah.
Rip Van Winkle. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, Randy.
Stephen Milligan, a British politician and Conservative MP for Eastleigh, died from autoerotic asphyxiation combined with self-bondage in 1994.
Yeah.
Tied himself up, choked himself out.
Yeah, I assume that was in the papers at that time.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That would have been pretty scandalous.
They all run for cover like they normally do, you know.
Yeah.
And apparently, David Carradine's two ex-wives said that his sexual interests included the practice of self-bondage. Why wait? Why wait for a partner, right? Just
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Whatever floats.
No one is going to know the way you like it, the way you know.
Or maybe not. That's how they end up killing themselves from it.
Yeah.
They didn't know themselves very well at all.
I guess I liked it too much.
Must be it. So they don't have any money, so they decide to pull a heist. So that they can get more food and more weed. He goes bouncing into a convenience store and attacks it. Overstuffs himself and ends with a belch.
So is that person saying Kriega, or is that a sound effect, or what does that mean?
I think he's yelling Kriega.
What is that? That's a new one to me.
It's almost like a hi-ya in karate.
Okay.
Right, Russ?
What? Kriega. I've never heard of that.
Kriega.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Russ, you can use that next time you're in session.
Yeah.
That will freak out your opponent and you will win.
I'll just win. They'll just faint at the fact that I use a different word.
See, what the hell is that?
What are you doing?
The guy's obviously crazy.
Yeah. Sounds like a vicious Martian warlord.
Yeah, Kriega.
It's the Kriega.
Sounds Irish, doesn't it?
It's Kriega.
Yeah, it's the Kree and what they called on Star Trek. They gah, don't they?
Yes.
So it's that. So it must be some kind of
that's
Kree.
That's a Klingon word.
Yeah,
could be. Yeah, probably is.
It's a Kree goulash, but that they stole from the Klingons. Kriega. Can't believe I said all that. What's he doing?
How they get done and then they run off, and the convenience store guy is still stunned.
He's got a paper bag on his head, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is this the whole story? It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing that he could find whole stories he could reprint.
Well, the Furry Brothers are all in pretty full stories. Is that what you meant, or that?
Yeah, I mean the fact that there's nothing too objectionable that he can't reprint it.
Yeah, there's a lot of Freak Brothers. That's all right. It's just heavily drug influence. You know, there's a lot of drug references to it.
And we got the whole meatball story.
And there's very little nudity in Freak Brothers. You know, and then there's all that they had a running little 4-strip cartoon running at the bottom of all of the pages on a lot of the issues of Fat Freddy's Cat.
Yes.
That was a real big precursor to Garfield. Yep. Yeah. Only it was a very realistic humor strip about owning a cat, digging in his litter box and throwing his poop everywhere. And
and Zippy the Pinhead started in
Underground as well. Yeah.
In Tales of Toad.
Yep.
In that last panel, is that guy going down the toilet in the background?
Yeah,
I believe he is. Yep.
Yeah.
So do we get, speaking of Tales of Toad and Zippy, do we get any Bill Griffith in this book? Do you know?
Not that I remember.
Yeah.
No.
That's an omission.
It is. But Didn't it come a couple of years later though? Griffith did after this movement. It might have Griffith
No,
might have come
actually,
along
no.
after this book was done, right?
Zippy as a mainstream comic strip came later, but Tales of Toad and Zippy's first appearances were in the early 70s.
Okay.
So they were available.
It's a little Nard and Pat here. Each again. Right? No. Nope. Jay Lynch. Sorry, Jay Lynch. And then this is Crumb. It's a nice little song about a farmer who sets all of his chickens free.
One of the classic underground comics was Bijou, Bijou, and I think Nard and Pat.
Yeah,
that's where Nard and Pat appeared. There's a lot of good stuff in those Bijous.
Yeah, Bijou Funnies. Yeah, that's what it was called. This is a great little story here. I remember reading this as a kid and loving it.
Was that in Zap?
Probably was. Yeah, about the same time as Meatball.
Yeah, I mean, he did so many comics back then.
He was all over the place.
Yeah, your High Tone Funnies, Big Ass Comics. There's a classic title.
Big Ass Comics.
Yeah.
So somebody needs to resurrect that title in comics right now. They sure do. Featuring Kim Kardashian, Big Ass Comic.
That guy on the right there with the mustache reminds me of that guy. Is he called Robertson in the Laurel and Hardy films? Who was always angry with them.
Oh yes, yeah. He's the guy who created the saying "dough."
Is it?
Yeah, that's where the Simpsons got it from.
He was great, wasn't he? He was always angry, wasn't he?
He reminds me of the character from the Gumps, which is an old comic strip from the 20s and 30s, almost exactly drawn like that.
They all have that big long nose like those guys on Popeye.
Yeah. We all know. You know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big boogers. Anyway.
Kind of reminds me of Mutt Jeff.
That too. Yeah, very much so.
Randy, I'm going to send you a cover of Big Ass Comics that you could probably show. It's absolutely hysterical, and I think you could probably show this. It's classic.
Well, hysterical and safe sometimes are two completely different things.
Yeah, I think this one's okay. Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Yeah, I got it here. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I could show this.
Yeah, it's incredible. The genius of Crumb.
Let me share my screen here.
Oh, she blinded me with science.
I don't quite think that's blinded, but that's close. Eggs, Ackley.
Yeah.
The vulture. Demonesses.
Yeah. Look at the faces on those characters.
Big ass. Sorry, kids. Adults only.
Look at the expression of the guy in the middle. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That there's an underground cover for you.
Buzz Buzzard. Yeah. Definitely Big Ass Comics, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't think you could show any of the interior pages. But
weird sex fantasies with the behind in mind. Yeah.
Oh, what does that say under adults only?
It says sorry kids.
Sorry kids.
Only.
No, under that.
Oh yeah. An anal something.
It's
original.
Not,
is it an anal?
Yeah, an anal original. Something. Yeah. Big Ass Comics, folks.
Where else can you see this on YouTube or Facebook? Come on. Just here.
Nowhere. Yes. Just here.
Rip-Off Press.
That was a big underground.
Yeah, there was the print
time.
mint. Yeah, Rip-Off Press, the print mint, Last Gasp.
kitchen sink, then printed a bunch of underground stuff. Yeah.
I couldn't see any of this appearing in Dandy or Beano.
No.
Similar style of drawing, but not so explicit.
Yeah. All right, back to black and white.
Yeah. It's a nice little fun ditty here. Great page. Another Nard and Pat. Got himself a toy, squeeze toy. You squeeze it. Poot. Poot. It's a poot. My God, what's it do? Just watch. Squeeze. Poot. They used to sell those toys. Yeah. Anyway. Class War comics. So you can definitely see a Basil Wolverton influence here. Skip Williamson on this. Great stuff. Oops. Arnold, you're drooling.
Nothing wrong with that. She just got some fruit pastels down the top.
Look at the signature.
Oh, scum.
Was Mad inspired by this, or
the who? What? Marv?
Was Mad magazine inspired by this, or was it in the same time making?
No,
Mad was way before this.
Yeah, Mad was a good 15 years before this. Yeah, good 10, 15 years.
I was looking up some other Crumb stuff. Here's a list of all the different underground publishers demanding work from Crumb in 1971. This is how demand he was in demand. Apex Novelties, which was in the Bay Area.
That's this
San
one.
San Francisco Comic Book Company, Ripoff Press in San Francisco, the Print Mint in San Francisco, Bijou Funnies in Chicago, Krupp Comic Works, Motor City Comics in Detroit, and apparently some friends in Cleveland and New York City as well. So the guy was a superstar by 1971.
Yeah.
That drawing there is from Copyright Apex Novelties.
Arnold? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing quite a bit of drooling there.
Just a little. Yeah. Skull number 1.
Yeah, some great stuff in those skulls. A lot of Corbin in those skulls.
Yeah.
In that skull there, it says produced by San Francisco Comics. And what is it? With Ripoff Press. Distributed by Ripoff San Francisco. Yeah, gives you the address and everything. Just go and check it out.
It's a takeoff of the old bodybuilder ad.
Who drew that? The Mad Pack.
Mad Pack. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Then that's his own stuff. Yeah, from Mad Pack catalog of good stuff. May be reprinted by anyone. Yeah. Same thing with this here. What are you smoking, Ace? Hair. And that's it, folks. Notes.
Wow.
Bibliography index. He ended with their own studio stuff. Bit of cross-referencing. Media burn. Nation's leading mental crippler, comics. What are you doing to protect yourself from media burn? Contains complete stories featuring the great artists and characters of the past and present. You owe it to yourself. That's it.
I'm going to send you a crumb if I can copy this. Let's see if I can copy it. From Art and Beauty. Let's see. Let's see if I can copy this. To show you Crumb's drafting skills. Nope, that didn't work. What's the problem here? Ah, there we go. All right, let's see if this works. This is a real good example of Crumb's skills. Okay, I don't think that worked.
Hang on just a second.
We'll find another picture from Art and Beauty.
Nope, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, all right. Let's try this one. This is from Heritage. This is an original. Send this. That's gonna go. Yeah.
Messy. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Crumb was, and these are relatively recent.
Yeah, 94. Yeah.
Yeah, relatively. And this is, let's see if
Can't
I
see
can
them.
Hang on, bringing it up. Right there.
All right.
That is all stipple work, folks. Let me zoom in on that.
And I'm just sending you a cover of Art and Beauty.
Our Crumb 94.
Lovely.
That's the kind of work he's currently doing.
Yeah, I mean, just this is incomparable.
Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous material.
Here's another one. This is the back cover of that same magazine, Art and Beauty. There's a book of Art and Beauty that's really expensive, but the 3 individual issues can be had fairly reasonably. I think there's a French edition of the book, the collection of the 3 issues, that's inexpensive, but you get the pictures, but it's all in French.
Yeah, here's the
yeah, I mean, this stuff is just amazing.
Yep, undeniable. Right there.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I mean, it's cartoony and realistic at the same time.
Look at the shading on those boots.
Look at that.
Wow.
And I'm sure that he's nailed the likeness of that artist. I mean, that model.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And there's the back cover.
He has a very European style, doesn't he, with all this cross action and stuff.
Look at that. It's unbelievable. Look at
Isn't that just gorgeous?
Folds,
That's our
the
Crumb.
folds.
That's
Yeah, look
a
at the
Matt
folds
Black
on the
banging.
boots.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. That roguish smile, whose dark, expressive features are indeed enticing. Fantagraphics.
That grass work reminds me of Barry Smith on Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find some more. Oh, okay.
Just believable stuff. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I can't show that one. This one I can show. Let's get this one. Let's get this one going. This is pretty amazing.
Oh yeah.
I
Definitely.
wonder if her thighs really looked that exactly that way, or if he exaggerated the thighs a bit.
Would not surprise me.
She got thick legs.
Oh my
That's
God.
the way Crumb likes his women.
Yeah, yeah.
It's thick like that. As do a lot of people.
The
Well,
more
as
the merrier.
James,
Not
as
dumpy,
James,
not dumpy
yeah,
thick either.
no.
Muscular, thick. Right
As
there.
James Brown used to say, I like to glide in my ride.
There you are. That's from, it looks like 97, 92. Yeah. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, this one I can show too.
It's all
see.
cross hatching in the background here, down to a faded black. Here, that's not completely
right.
black. It's still just tighter cross hatching.
I just sent another
You
one.
got the shadow work there. Just fantastic material. I'm trusting you here.
Yeah, I sent another one.
Nope, that's wrong direction. Oh, I'm gonna have to go out and get it back in.
That's what she said.
Yep. We go. Can you see that?
Okay, and yet another.
Yeah.
Oh, that
This is
last
great.
one's impressive. The lighting on it.
Yeah.
Take a look at my kitty.
Double kitties. Oh yeah, look at that. This is
That's
great.
really impressive. Yeah.
It's hand lettering down there.
Why is the
Swift tackle back once
lyrics
again.
"Ride, Captain, ride" going through my head?
Yeah, I'll keep them coming here.
Isn't that
Let's see. There we go. There goes another one.
Oh, there you are. Look at all that grass.
Queen
That
singing in the
bottom girl
background.
Make the rocking world go round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. To render and glorify the life of today.
Here's one that let's see. Can I show this one? Yeah, we can show that one.
We can try to show anything. They'll just slam us.
This one's okay. This is, I think this one is from Heritage as well.
Wow. Look at that. Look at the
I'm
shade.
announcing the formation of a new magazine called Swing.
Oh yeah. There you go.
It's a sister magazine to Schwang.
Look at that.
Okay, now
Schwang.
here's one where
Swing.
here's one where he's really caught this girl's face. Yeah, okay. Girls of the street. Beauty is where you find it. The girl on the right.
Uh-huh. Do you think he's traced photographs here?
Look at her face.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
sure that girl looks exactly like that in real life.
I think
I don't know, that right-hand page, definitely photographic. In origin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the ability to capture that,
Yeah.
in a drawing.
Loving the shading on the blankets back there sitting in the
Yeah.
cart. That's just crazy good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this girl was on the street.
Yeah.
He took a picture, brought it home, made the drawing.
Yeah, lovely.
Got arrested.
I'm sure he could have gotten more than a picture too.
All right.
Good stuff.
We're good.
Oh,
Oh, I've been ignoring the chat this entire time. I deeply apologize to everybody. Sorry about that. Devil Flyer mostly. Matt Black says, is that your work, Charles? No.
Do you think I'd be with these jokers this morning if that was my work?
These bums.
It looks like the take on
excuse me, these wankers.
the take on me by a hostile, drawing
bit
they
harsh.
used in the music video. Yes, it does. Tree Goblin in the house. Good to see here. He liked the legs thick. He did. Yes, he did.
Oh, he did.
Every day was leg day at the gym. And he says, yeah, absolutely. He liked the through pennies.
Threepennies.
Threepennies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Through pennies. Matt Black, just show it. You'll have everyone next week joining. The algorithm will go through the roof. LOL. Yeah. Probably should have.
It's the way it works. I think I made my point on Crumb's draftsmanship. That was the idea.
Certainly did. That face. What's going on? Yeah.
Who's Chen?
So we were going to sit silent.
So what are we going to do next week?
Randy cycles through the chat.
Oh, there we are. Yeah. Randy's muted because he was hacking up a lung. Now he's back here reading the chat as everybody is everybody's quiet and doesn't say that I was still muted. Oh yeah. Afternoon all. What's going on with that chin? Yeah. Looks like a pair of testicles.
Oh, must have been one of the pictures. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there. Is that your work, Charles? No, that
we
was
answered that. Asked and answered.
To me, like, every day was leg day at the gym. Everybody was laughing too while I was reading it. Just right. I didn't even know I was reading. It's perfect.
We were just chatting amongst ourselves.
Yeah. just show it. You'll have everyone next week joining the algorithm, and we'll go through we'll go through the roof. LOL. All right. Folks, want to thank you all for stopping by today. I have no idea what we're covering next week. None. Not on next Sunday. This Friday, we'll be looking through more Blueberry by Mobius. So I know that.
Finishing off the year with it.
We're going to finish off the year with Mobius Westerns. Yeah. Great stuff. We still have the Inkle to look at, but after looking at Blueberry, it's kind of almost like a step down.
Oh, I disagree.
In some ways.
It's a completely different Mobius style, but the Inkle, I think, is more better with visual storytelling, not as copy heavy.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. Yep. Some genuine.
If I had to take one to a desert island, it would be the Inkle.
Really? Okay. Cool.
Or one of Crumb's girls.
No.
Yes.
If that was an option.
You take bitch. I love this shit.
You take girls if they didn't fancy on island, they'd be really good at building a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Those legs out.
If only for the inspiration, right? Yeah. Folks, I want to thank you all for stopping by today. Deeply appreciate it. We are here every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. looking through great comics or comics-inspired work. Also, Friday morning, there's Comics by Night. We're here Friday morning at 5 a.m. in Eastern time in the morning, looking through some fantastic work. Like we said, Mobius. Next Sunday, I'm not sure who we're going to look at, but it'll be somebody great, I'm sure, or pretty close to it. So swing back by then. We'll figure something out. Oh, you know what I have here? Let me do this hard reach.
I've just noticed
right up on top. This is on the pile of what we can look at. This is Charles Vest. Raven.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that from a bent camera. There we are.
It didn't matter.
Raven Banner, a Marvel graphic novel.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
No, I don't. I've never seen that. No.
No.
Charles Vess, folks. Great,
The
great.
Tale
stuff.
of Asgard.
I bought it for $3.
Anyway,
Oh,
we'll just.
When is that from? When was that published?
What a deal.
Mid 80s, late 80s.
85, mid 80s.
Wow.
Great. Great material. More great stuff coming up Sundays.
yeah.
Sunday Funnies, folks. 9 a.m. Eastern time. Hope you join us. If you enjoyed this program, make sure you hit that like button. We don't have anybody hitting a like button this morning or even a love button. So
Do
hit
it.
that love or like button.
Yeah, if you
leave
didn't enjoy this program, then what's wrong with you?
Even
You have
give
no
us a
soul.
thumbs down helps our algorithms, folks. Any type of
Yeah.
interaction with the channel or the program, we deeply, deeply appreciate you being here. We know the majority of our viewership is after the fact, and we appreciate you too. So, and also any interaction that you have, no matter when, all goes to help our algorithm, helps to get us out there. We don't do this for money. We're not monetized. The Indie Comics Network isn't monetized, but we do it because we love it. We're inspired by it. And,
Even if you hate us, reach out. It helps the algorithm.
Exactly right. Marv, tell folks how they can find you.
Okay, find me on Instagram at Marvy Mr. Sim, and that's it basically. I haven't been too much lately on Instagram because I'm taking care of making my graphic novel Moon. I'm on page 33 right now.
Yeah, he sent some pages earlier today. They look really good. Yeah, really, really good.
Thank you.
Marv.
And I'm doing this traditionally, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Back to traditional.
Yep. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for
Charles.
having me.
Yeah, great to have you. Charles, tell folks how they can find you.
Well, you go to the internet and you type in my name, and it'll all come up. A lot of it's on Amazon, social media as well. And please take a look at Rammur, Rammur, Master Thief in a Future Police State. First issue behind me, second issue right here. And I guess I have to say this is a regular size comic, not a treasury edition.
Is it because you're only 3 foot tall, Charles?
That must be it. See how big it is?
See
It's
how
really-
things happen when you get closer to them? They look bigger.
It's huge. Yeah.
So there you go. And it's out there. Please check it out. This is the second issue. First issue looks like the poster in back of me. Third issue will be coming out someday. The stories are all self-contained, so forget the word trilogy. That's just a marketing gimmick.
Here we are.
Now remember, kids, if you search for his name in Google or DuckDuckGo, turn off that safe filter. You'll get more.
Please, you'll have to.
Rex, tell folks how they can find you.
Scratching his chin.
You can
Okay.
find me
Scratching his
right
chin.
here.
Right there.
Right there.
You can find me right here on YouTube daily on the 4 o'clock shadow. You can find my projects over on Indiegogo under Devil Flyer and Fund My Comic.
All right. Fund my comic under Devil Flyer. Take a look, folks. Fundmycomic.com. Take a look. Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me at russleach.com. Sign up for the email list if you like a bit of this. Like a little bit of... There you go. A little bit of... there you go.
A little bit of barbarian fun there. Yeah.
Barbarian fun. Tits and dragons. You've got to love it. Find out you want more of that. Go to russleach.com. Sign up for that email list. And we'll let you know when the retail version of Atlantean 1 is available. And also how issue 2 is coming on. That'll be available to back in March next year. So russleach.com, sign up for that email list.
Issue 2 and 3 in production now. So go over there and enjoy not Fund My Comic. Just go over and watch that mailing list. Well, there'll be a retail version of Atlantean 1 out, but if you wait until the campaign for Atlantean 2
You will be
There'll
able to
be
get
an
two.
offer to pick that up at Lanyon 1 as well as Shadow Kingdom, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on these programs with Randy and guests and my internet friends on Fridays and Sunday.
Internet friends.
Yeah.
Internet friends.
And one day we'll get together. And if you go to Amazon, you can get all my, I'm never quite sure, 12 books I think I've written on there, varying subjects. And you can go to Fund My Comic and pick up a copy of my Hatch Annotated, please. But if you just put my name to Google, something will come up.
Internet friends, that's a lot like Happy Tree Friends, only a little less stabby.
Yeah, less stabby, less bloody.
Less bloody. Okay.
Well, I see more of you guys than anybody else. Let's put it that way. That's how sad I am. Nobody ever knocks on my door, and I'm really pleased about that.
And if they do, I tell them to get stuffed.
Yeah,
that's right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get off my lawn.
They just want you to take more copies of the Watchtower anyway.
Yeah.
Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me over at aerocomics.store. If you want to talk to me, you can find me over on Facebook. I X a little bit, but not very much. But you can find us over there. Go over there and take a look. There's all sorts of great products available at Lanyon and Shadow Kingdom. At Lanyon will be available soon. Right now, you can get a great hard copy of the Shadow Kingdom, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, any place that orders books, any bookstore that uses the Ingram ordering system, you can get a copy of the Shadow Kingdom. This is a faithful adaptation of Robert E. Howard's classic story, the one that really started the entire sword and sorcery genre. Kull becomes king of Elusia and finds out that there is a conspiracy to take over his throne by a race of shape-shifting lizard people. And what he has to do in order to deal with that. So Shadow Kingdom, folks, great book. Lots of fun there and lots more fun on the way. So again, if you get a chance, go ahead.
The Atlantean is fantastic. I just got my issue, my copy, and it is a beautiful piece of work, black and white with great tones, beautifully drawn, beautifully written, and I highly recommend it.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Charles, very much. Folks, go visit your local retailer. They're having a really rough time, especially this season. Diamond's really screwing them around on their shipping. And they are looking also to have a Christmas of their own. So that most of those retail shops are privately owned, which means that if there's an employee there, there's a local owner around who runs the store and keeps their family fed from you buying books and toys and Funko Pops or whatever you can from that retailer. And they would deeply appreciate your business, especially now, especially this time of year. So go over there and take a visit. Take a look at those boxes that are closest to the floor, the ones that nobody looks at, because you'd be surprised what great comics are available there. Some fun sequential art and some great reading as well. So go over there and take a look. Go over to fundmycomic.com as well and take a look at those campaigns. Those are privately owned and ran campaigns of all sorts of different types and variety on an open platform dedicated to funding comic projects. Fundmycomics.com. Go over there and take a look. Anything else we need to cover? Stop back by Friday morning.
Can I just say that when you look at artwork or a film and you see things, you look at them again, you see things that you've never seen before, right? I've only just noticed. See that Kirby Daredevil down there on the background, down there. I should say down.
Oh yeah,
that way.
Yeah.
The Daredevil one.
Yeah, I've only just noticed. I mean, when did that come out? 1964.
Yes,
somewhere around there.
I probably saw it around that time as well because I'm that old. But I've only just noticed today he's got buttons on his boots.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the original design. Yes, because he was supposed to look like a circus performer.
Yeah. But I've only just noticed he's got buttons on his boots.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've seen that cover a million times, and I've only just seen that.
Wally Wood did a very good job of first when he took over with issue 5. The first thing he did is redesign the yellow and red costume. He redesigned the yellow and red, and then 2 issues later said, "You know what? Heck with this. I'm going to completely redesign it," and came up with the classic all red with the black shadows.
Yeah.
But this was the original design.
Yep.
Buttons and all.
Yeah. Folks, if you love comics, tell people you love comics. Give comics as gifts this holiday season. There are lots of great graphic novels out there, lots of great crowdfunding projects that are self-contained, that are looking for a home and readers. So there's so much negativity out there on these anti-social platforms that you don't have to be trolling all the time, praising the comics that you love. Let people know what you appreciate, and spread the word, spread the love, folks. Let's talk more positively about this industry and not about the little Beavis and Butthead schoolyard BS that way too many people think that they can make great sales on. So all of that stuff is only temporary, but in the long run, you're hurting comics as an industry by constantly talking down or overly criticizing people. So it's time to talk about how great this business is, how great this industry is, how much fun, what a great communication tool sequential art is.
Be a proponent, not an opponent.
That's very good. Very true. Till the next time, folks, we deeply, again, appreciate you stopping by. Tell your friends. We don't have nearly enough subscribers on any of our platforms. We are archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt platform. Devil Flyer runs us as well. The Randy Zim YouTube channel has it there. And also the Indie Comics Network has us cataloged and archived there. All of our back podcasts are sitting there. We've looked through a lot of great stuff, and we're going to continue to look through great comics until we can't.
Do we have any
so much out there? We're never going to cover it twice.
Do we have any babbling babies?
We have a babbling baby here. Is that are you talking about me or what?
The video.
There you are. That
never gets old.
It's all right. We could also I guess we could snap our fingers and convince you were never gay.
I snap my fingers. You forget that you were ever gay.
I was never gay.
Exactly.
Wait, no, stop.
Yes.
No, stop. You can't. I was never gay.
Okay.
No, I was never gay.
Sure.
You can't just state something and snap your fingers and then be like, I was never gay.
You say so.
Can we throw our heads back and laugh?
We can do that too. Now is the time. Right? Or did I wipe that out? No, here we are. Now is the time.
Comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Always brings a tear to
Rust, did I send you that African guy reading the football results?
No.
Oh,
send it to me.
Right.
That'd be funny.
Oh, I'll send it to you as well, Rand. I'll send it to you all. It's the funniest thing. It's the funniest.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
Hey.
I'll send it to you. It's great.
That'll make a change.
Sounds like a change.
Take care, everybody. Gravy, baby.
That's for Danya.
We'll see you next Sunday. We're not going anywhere. It's Friday mornings, 5 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m. No matter what holiday is or what time of year it is, we'll be here. We might be pre-recorded, but we'll still be here. So take care.
So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards.
Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
And I just want to say, when my time comes, I want to be buried face down, so that anyone who doesn't like me can kiss my ass.
Ship my pants. Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding. You can ship your pants right here. You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed.
If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
Christmas biscuits.